Hi Carol, professional IKEA hacker. Today I'll show you, I'll do a little video that's going to link directly to my blog entry about how I built the basis for my IKEA kitchen islands. So we're going to go through a bit of a design exercise, and hopefully by the end of this video you have a good understanding. If you watch the video and you read it and you go back on my blog, you can hit the tab kitchen islands, and then there will be a whole bunch of entries about how I do things. So hopefully, but this is going to be the critical missing component that's been missing. Okay, so you've been on the blog, you've seen the drawings. Now it's actually the physical portion, the building of it. I want to say right away that there are thousands of kitchens which are successfully installed around the globe using the traditional plastic legs. Thousands. If you are the by the book guy, you don't want to be bothering with this. You're going to set up your cabinetry on those little plastic legs. You're going to level it. You're going to fix that rail in the back. You're going to attach it. You're going to put the end panels. You're going to put the countertop on quartz, laminate, butcher block, whatever. You're going to put in your drawers, adjust your faces for nice, even, consistent gaps. I got a couple of tips on my blog on how to make IKEA kitchens look really well. So there's really no need to do this. So question is, why would I need to, or why would I want to be interested in doing something like this? It's very rewarding. I like installations. I like woodworking. So you will really sort of connect to your own space. If you're doing this by yourself, I think it's an amazing exercise. It's rewarding, liberating, you get your woodworker on, So it's I like it. You're going to derive you're going to have great satisfaction when you complete this project. B, you're going to learn skills. So imagine this setup that I use to build my IKEA kitchen islands, or any cabinetry for that, IKEA cabinetry for that matter, can be extended. Same principles can be applied to whether you're building from most utilitarian boxes that just got to stack up in your garage, or you're building a fine furniture piece. That's how I build my boxes. My bases. They're easy to level, they're easy to fabricate, and they're rigid and they're strong. They work well. Another reason is that, so you flip through some magazines, fancy Italian design, and you're looking at this island and you're like, you know what? I would love to have something like this in my kitchen. It has an appealing geometry. Maybe you want to build in a bench. So this system offers great flexibility in what you can achieve. You can extend upon this, add, build. It really just, whatever you want to do, you can build upon this. Proper planning to start with, and then execution. So this will enable you to create, I think, really interesting combinations if you're into that kind of thing. So how do we go about it? So one of the things I mentioned is that I never use dimensional lumber in my fabrication of anything really to do with kitchen cabinetry. When you go to any sort of home improvement store, I can think of, in my area, there's Home Depot, there's Lowe's, there's Canadian Tire, there's some Canadian home hardware chains. When you go through that pile of 2x4s and you're sorting and they're all wonky and warped, and you have everybody in there looking through that stack, you avoid all that. Why? Because all your bases are fabricated out of plywood. Like this, pieces like this. So I built, and that's the other advantage of my system, is that it is all built out of plywood, and I usually choose 3/4 inch exterior grade ply. So see, this is ugly. I think it's about $35 per sheet where I live, Canadian. Maybe $40, I don't know. $35 to $40. You don't have to spend any money on any premium products, no Baltic birch, no, it's beautiful, good one side, good two side, straight up construction, 3/4 inch lumber. This could be warped. And I don't care, because the system is self-squaring. So you don't have to worry about do I have to go in there and select the perfect piece? You don't have to worry about it. The other thing is, what I like about this is that it's all works from the same dimension. So all my cross pieces, front and back pieces, all my ribs, everything is all from the same dimension. So I would say tip number one is, if you're thinking about doing this and you don't have big, large saws, you can go to a studio space like mine, or a maker. You can join a maker space, for example, and you can rip down yourself a whole bunch of ribs. So these ribs used to be a one long piece. See how they're all in the same dimension? They're flat here. That's what it is. So it's all one dimension. So all you got to do is, I do it myself, or you can go to a shop and you can ask, hey, you know what? Can you guys rip me up? Can you guys grab a 4x8 sheet of 3/4 inch exterior grade ply, and you want to rip it for me? And my dimension that I use is 3 3/4 inch. That's what I use. The reason why I use this is, I know the kicks for the IKEA, those plastic kicks, they're actually pretty good. I like them. That IKEA supplies you with all the kitchens is, I think it's about 4 1/8 or so. What that gives me is, it's structural enough that the final base is going to be very solid, but it also gives me the ability to level things. That's the other beauty about my system, is you can set your heights whatever you want. Not everybody has nice even floors. Sometimes on kitchens, from one end to the other end, 16 feet, 1 inch difference. You cannot have your countertop, your Caesar stone sloping 1 inch over 16 feet. You're gonna have what I do is, I have a marble test. I drop in the marble and it theoretically should stay there. It shouldn't be like wildly rolling off. That's, So easy to adjust, easy to level, and you can set up arbitrary heights, whatever you want it to be. You can have it tall, you can have it short, what else? So what do? So I will go to a shop. If you have the capacity to do it on your own, do it. If not, go to a shop space and say, hey guys, I want to have a 4x8 or maybe 2 sheets ripped into strips 3 3/4 inch. And you're going to get a whole bunch of them, just like this. This is a 4x8. This came from a 4x8 sheet. And you know what? I can see that it is a little wonky, but I don't care about it. Okay? So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to assemble this thing for you so you can see it, how I do it. And all I'm going to do is, I'm going to just brad nail it for speed, because we could be here for a while, for an hour. Let's not do that. What are the things that I will need is, what are the tools? So once you have this stripped up into these strips, then the one thing you will need for any installation is a cordless drill. A set of these guys, if you go for the brushless model, it can be expensive, you know, about $300 or something. You know what's a good deal? Join a maker space in your neighborhood. They're popping up all over the space. This is the new wave in kind of do-it-yourself. It's maker spaces. You don't have to own the entire shop of tools. You can, for 8 to 12 bucks a month, which is what, like 4 coffees a month? You join a space where you become part of the community of like-minded individuals. B, you gain access to a whole bunch of tooling, which you can probably sign out and take home. If you need to install, you got this. They'll probably have compressors, which you will need. I like to have an 18 gauge brad pinner on the job. It just makes things easier. You know, bam, 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 you nail it. 18 gauge is small enough of a head that you can putty it easily. In combination with glue and screws, it makes for solid construction. My favorite tool? Invest in a countersink. So this is a countersink. What that is, for any screw that you're going to be put in, you're going to be pre-drilling. What that avoids is drills a nice hole, and the countersink, when you screw it in, it just goes in and it doesn't split the plywood. you gotta do it. No two ways about it. You always pre-drill. It's one of those things that, you know, when you buckle up for seatbelts, when you get in the car, the first thing, automatically, without thinking, you buckle up. If you're assembling cabinetry, fine cabinetry, furniture, anything, you always pre-drill. Okay? Results in a solid joint. Use adhesive, glue, whatever you've got. Whatever I use, whatever the brand, any woodworking glue. One thing I like to say is I usually go for exterior grade ply because the plywood uses waterproof glue. And you also might want to consider doing something that resists moisture, because kitchens are notorious for having steam and wetness, things will be pouring down, and then, worst case scenario, you want these things to be solid. What else can I tell you? Pointers. So, you know what? You learn new things. You will be able to be creative. You're going to acquire new skills. It's just a lot of fun. What do? Let's pause this. Okay, so this is part A, why we do this. So my next little video, I'm going to go into actually how I install this. Okay? Ciao for now. Watch the next video.